Hello everyone, my name is Deckerlink, the trained unprofessional, and you know what? If you're surprised, you should fucking watch yesterday's video. That's all I'm gonna say.
Snap!
This is the 0.5.2 motherfucker 2 update, which basically means that shit has changed in the Owen path because Shirokoi is a fickle bitch and wants to rewrite shit. And that's why I was sticking to the Owen path and had to go there so sharply, even though I didn't finish the Sissel run yet, and Philip's path is still unthefuck available. So we're just going, and we're doing the stuff, doing as best I can, and we'll see how the fuck that works out. So this is going to be a longer one because I'm going to try to find where all the differences are and speed through it as much as possible. So without further fucking ado, let's get on with this shit. I am the current holder of the fucking phone of the Furry King crown, and I believe I know who my first challenger shall be, for he has laid down many a challenge, but I have yet to see a formal announcement of same. Because that would be the ultimate throwing down of the, oh shit, oh shit.
You're in drag, you're furry queen.
Yeah, there, oh yeah, furry queen now, man. This is gonna fuck up the cropping on my video, I can't fucking do this.
It's alright.
I haven't seen a peep of him today. You don't see peeps, unless it's a sad trick on Easter. Okay, so I believe this is already a bit different. I ran around checking every classroom, dorm, lounge, gym room, and even the showers, but no luck. I sighed as I trudged outside into the afternoon sun. Maybe Owen was hiding from the big crowds that visitors today would probably bring. After all, his family reputation doesn't exactly make him well loved around here. There was a sudden flash of orange in the corner of my eye. Speaking of the devil, I blinked in as a frenzied Owen tore down the street and made a mad dash around the corner. What the hell? Snarling close on his heels were a gang of 4 or 5 shifty-looking men, none of whom looked friendly. Aw, shit! The men dressed like something straight out of an 80s greaser gang movie with uncomfortably tight leather jackets and cheap Walmart sunglasses. It was almost hard to take them seriously if it went— It's the tunnel snakes! It's the fucking tunnel snakes! If they were actually snakes, that'd be so fucking funny. I gulped and stared as the group chased Owen down a small alleyway. I have no godly idea. It's no godly. If there's no ungodly, I don't know. For some reason that just sounds weird. Idea of what's going on, but I can't just leave Owen stranded on his own. Stealing myself with a deep breath, I took off after them quietly. Oh shit, this is a new picture. Yeah, this is completely different. My heart was thumping rapidly. I think that's thumping or something. Rapidly against my chest as I peeked around the corner. The men had Owen surrounded, pressing his head roughly against the brick wall of the alley. Owen looked surprisingly calm despite the bruise that's slowly swelling on his forehead. He turned towards the men and grinned as though he'd been through this 100 times before.
Well?
Yeah. Well, hello, gentlemen. It's been a while. I know you folks like to play rough, but what's with the guns this time around? One of the men growled and held the sharp end of a broken bottle dangerously close to Owen's face. Owen didn't bat an eye.
Sorry, little old lad, but it looks like things are over for you. We've had a good time these few years, but your family finally wanted to put an end to you for good.
What? 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 What the fuck?
What, you've never been almost killed by your family before?
Not intentionally. Well,
No hard feelings, kiddo.
Owen laughed and playfully booped the thug on the nose. That earned him a swift kick to the chest, but he barely flinched.
That sounds like something I would do.
What?
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
My family hires you guys to rough me up every now and again as a formality. It's their loving way of saying, we still have our eye on you. Usually they just send you guys to beat me up a bit. A black eye here, a broken bone there, nothing more than that. Jesus Christ! This is really throwing everything that happens in the last path out of the fucking water. That just seems impossible now.
I know, like, oh, his mom died. Now his family's gonna kill him. What the fuck?
Well, even so, it's like the dad coming back and trying to be like, oh, I want us to be a family again. It's like, bitch, no, you sent people to kill. What the fuck? Okay, let's just keep going. I've been careful not to provoke my family in years. Why would they want me dead now? The leader of the thugs gave him a non-committal shrug.
Hell if I know what your family of psychos is thinking. We're just doing what we're paid to do.
Oh, what the fuck happened? He got fat all of a sudden. What is this? This picture's weird. It looks like he got stretched. Owen scratched his chin thoughtfully whilst mumbling to himself. They actually want me out of the picture now? Oh, this isn't good. Something's changed in the family. Someone sees me as an obstacle now. Owen sighed begrudgingly. They could at least hire some actual hitmen instead of some street thugs.
Oi, watch your mouth, kid! Just because you're about to die doesn't mean we're gonna take any shit from you!
Owen gave the thugs an apologetic grin before casually rolling his shoulders and neck. Sorry, fellas, but I don't plan on dying today. Oh, damn, his mouth opens. No hard feelings. Damn! Oh, shit! His movements were swift with practiced force. In a split second, Owen elbowed one of the men in the face. The shock and surprise of the crowd gave him time to roundhouse kick. Roundhouse kick? How fucking cliche is a roundhouse kick right now? You are surrounded by thugs. There's no time to be flashy.
Roadhouse.
you ain't fucking Chuck Norris or Patrick Swayze. You ain't either one of those motherfuckers. And locked the third in a chokehold. The remaining thugs scrambled to aim their guns at Owen, who was using the thug in his chokehold as a shield. I gulped from my hiding spot around the corner as I watched the scene unfold. Owen's handling them pretty well. It's like he's done this frequently before, which is good because, well, it's not good that he's done it before, but it's good that he's holding his own, because in the last run it just seemed like he's just used to getting jumped and just, I'm getting beat up now. Ooh. It's like, man... I'm not sure if that's good or not. The thug Owen elbowed was writhing on the ground while holding his bleeding nose. Shit, he was coming this way. I sucked in a nervous breath and quietly lodged myself behind a trash can as the thug stumbled past me. Oh good, he didn't see me. I peeked around the corner again to see Owen chucking another thug over his shoulder with like a ragged doll. A ragged doll. At this point, the two remaining men suddenly remembered that they were holding guns and began firing blindly. Sharp gunfire rang out as Owen swore loudly and dove behind a trash bin. That sounds like he got hit. This isn't looking good. From his current hiding spot, Owen can't move anywhere without being filled with holes. I ducked back behind cover again and took a deep breath. Hey, Echo, you there? Oh, he is disappearing rapidly. Why do you always call for me when there's a gunfight going on? It's not like I planned for this. More gunfire echoed, ha ha, down the alleyway as the two thugs approached Owen's hiding place. They've got another 10 steps before they get a clear shot of him. A sharp rain of crack, echoed through the alleyway as more bullets snapped against Owen's trash bin. I gulped. There's no time. Can't you do something? You're a ghost. You should be able to help us somehow. While looking like this, John, my face is literally flaking off. I'm not exactly strong enough to pull off another miracle. There's gotta be something! The best I can do right now is make you less noticeable. Good enough. Lay it on me. Mortal Kombat! What the fuck was that gong for? A cool breeze suddenly caressed across my face. My body felt a little lighter. Was this Echo working his magic? No time to think. Gotta move! I shook my head furiously and took off, running down the alleyway. I got closer and closer to the two thugs approaching Owen, but neither of them heard me coming. That's about when I realized I didn't have a way to take them down. I came to a screeching halt, dumbfounded. Well, shit, what was I thinking? To hell with thinking! I grabbed a nearby heavy-looking recycling bin and slammed it under one of their heads. Oh, shit! Oh! What the fuck? Oh! With a graceful turn, I sent a flying kick. Everyone can just do a flying kick now. Shawn Michaels' finishing move was the super kick, and now everyone does a super kick because who gives a shit? Just one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, whatever. They both dropped like sacks of potatoes. Owen slowly peeked out from his trash bin, gaping in shock as I stood over the prone bodies almost heroically. Or stupidly, depends on how you look at it. Oh shit, he's looking remorseful. Holy shit, John, where the hell did you come from? I didn't bother answering him before grabbing his hand and dragging him down the alleyway. Hurry up and run before they wake up! Owen blinked blankly, as he followed me back towards the school. Oh, right. The fuck? I dragged Owen all the way back to the dorm where we both instantly collapsed in the kitchen. That was a hard line to say. My head was still rushing with adrenaline as I struggled to catch my breath. This was certainly an unexpected turn of events. Well, at least he's smiling. Owen looked lost in his own thoughts as he sank into a kitchen chair. I guess he did not get shot after all. The two of us just sat in the kitchen for several minutes, letting our ragged breathing slowly die down. After a while, I glanced up at Owen quietly, wondering how to breach the silence. So, are you gonna tell me what the hell happened back there? Why were those thugs trying to kill you? And why did your family, of all people, hire them? Owen pursed his lips as he searched for the first aid kit in the kitchen drawers. After a few minutes of silence, looked up at me reluctantly. I guess I do you a little explanation after you Captain America'd those last two guys. Owen chewed his lip thoughtfully as he applied hydrogen peroxide to the cut on his forehead. He dabbed it at it with practicing. Okay, I didn't actually dab. I almost did it, but I didn't. I'm not gonna do it.
I was about to lose a lot of respect for you, but you
I stopped it. I was like, oh, am I gonna oh? I go a little bit of a little bit of Did he do this regularly, patching himself up after numerous fights? The thought of it made my stomach turn uncomfortably. I guess I should start by asking you a question. How much do you know about the Lorelei and Adlai families? The Lorelei and Adlai families? Not much, really. Good. It's probably best if it stays that way, for your own good. It's good, it's for your own good, it's good. Good food, good.
Good?
Good. Mine. That's not much of an explanation. I did say a little explanation, didn't I? Yeah, that was little. It was not even a midget explanation. That was minuscule, not even an explanation. At least give me a Goodreads synopsis. Goodreads synopsis. I believe the what is it's not Goodreads, but it's the Spark Notes. The Spark Notes, or the Reader's Digest version. The Reader's Digest would compress books. Spark Notes just gives you the key points. I recommend replacing Goodreads with Spark Notes. I knocked out 2 grown men for you. I only got more silence in response. Owen rolled up his sleeves and started whistling while sloppily bandaging up his arms. I sighed and grabbed the bandages out of his hands before pulling him closer. Here, let me do it for you. You're still hurt, after all. Aw, thanks, John. Think you can get my back, too? Just takes off his shirt. Nice. With that, Owen pulled off his jacket with a grin and wagged his eyebrows suggestively. Come on, dude! You motherfucker! It was a nice view, I had to admit, but the myriad of cuts and bruises littering his body made it hard to indulge. I scoffed and grabbed the hydrogen peroxide off the kitchen table. Don't think you can just change the subject by stripping. Owen shrugged. It was worth a shot. I kneeled down close to Owen's abdomen and gently dabbed at the canvas of cuts that littered his body. Now that I'm up close, I could clearly see the mess of old scars that were well hidden under his fur. It made me feel a little sick. So, your family's trying to kill you? That's a good place to fucking start. Isn't that something you want to tell the police? What do you know about the Lorelei's? Well, they're one of the richest families in the city. They're a huge family and have a lot of influence. Not just any kind of influence. Political influence, business influence, and criminal influence. Not to mention how they basically own the police in the city. Reporting them to the cops wouldn't do me much good. Oh. I gingerly applied medical cream to Owen's bruised arms. So why does your family want you dead? You're just a kid. Talk about that awful calmly, don't you think? a little rushing to the comfort zone on this one. Owen grumbled uncomfortably. That's a long story that I'm not going to talk about. Motherfucker! Communicate, goddammit! Use your Goodreads synopsis. I'm in a strained relationship with the rest of my family. I try to stay out of their way most of the time, and usually they ignore me in turn. but now they want to fill me with bullet holes for some reason. Owen speaks so cheerfully that I almost thought he was joking. And that concludes, damn it, my little explanation. You getting a phone call?
Yeah, Mom's calling me.
It's probably best if you didn't ask any more questions. Bitch, I'm gonna ask all the damn questions I want to. You fucking, this is serious shit. I sighed heavily as I finished bandaging him up. If you say so. I do say so. Let's go back to simpler things, where we were just blindly flirted at each other. Speaking of which, Owen smirked seductively again. I've got something else that needs your medical attention. I glanced down to see the growing bulge in Owen's pants. Again, it's a nice view, but he's just doing this to change the subject. I reached down and gave the bulge a light flick. Okay, when I first skimmed the sentence before I started reading it, I thought it said lick, and I was like, well, I guess we're just going right there, aren't we? Owen nearly jumps out of his seat with a wince. Jesus Christ. John, how could you? You don't mess with a man's treasure like that. That's what you get for being so secretive and whatnot. Owen begrudgingly put his jacket back on before standing up and stretching lazily. After adjusting his bandages slightly, Owen made his way towards the door. Well, thanks for patching me up, John, but I gotta go now. I've got a few things I need to check on, privately. Are you talking about your dick or your secretive stuff? Why not both? I sighed and gave him a stern stare. Just make sure to stay safe, okay? I don't want to find you all beat up again. Will do. What the fuck? He almost got killed. If it was my friend, I wouldn't let him out of the fucking his dorm room. I would chain him up. I would drag him like a dog to every fucking class he had to go to and then take him right home. I would not let him out of my sight. He's gonna get killed. I got a theory that with each path you're gonna have to choose between killing yourself or someone else. Like using your last wish to save someone else, like attached to them. Like with Owen, it would be his dad, and with Sissel, it'd be Herschel or something, and then with Philip, it would be, I don't know who the fuck, or maybe it's Ginny. You have to choose between saving Ginny or yourself. And then since the opening part is, I'm sorry I couldn't save you, maybe it's like, if you choose to kill yourself, it's the wrong choice, but you have to kill Ginny at the end, or something like that. I don't fucking know. Owen gave me a not-so-reassuring thumbs up before disappearing down the hall. I sat alone in the kitchen with the first aid kit weighing heavily on my lap. There was still so many unanswered questions. If Owen won't give me any answers, I'll have to find them out somewhere else. The gears in my brain were grinding steadily as I strolled down the school hallways. Teachers and students were scurrying around me in preparation for Visitors' Day. But they were just background noise in my mind. The more pressing issue was that Owen was in danger. I can't just ignore what happened today just because Owen asked nicely. What I need now is more information about the families Owen was talking about, the Loreleis and the Adleis. Apparently there was some deep criminal activity that Owen didn't want to talk about. Luckily, I think I know someone who might have some answers. Now, if only I can find the class he's usually in. Here it is. Oh good, it's mostly empty too. Here goes nothing. You trying to find Philip? There were only 2 people in this room as I quickly slid inside. Their familiar voices were hushed in deep conversation. My ears perked as I approached them curiously. Well, I gotta do hey, it's Ginny and Philip as they're talking about the Black Cat fan letters. Yeah, something, I mean, however, paper mache, you mean you don't actually read them? What do you do? Is it the paper? Yeah, paper planes. Yeah, now it's inside, and now it's not out in the fucking hallway. That makes sense. That's a good change. Okay, here's where it's different. After all of that, instead of saying whatever you did before, now you're saying, speaking of bruised skin, I gotta ask a favor. So, Philip, you're the Black Cat. Ginny feigned a confused look while Philip raised an eyebrow suspiciously. Philip, the Black Cat? There's no way! Is this about the conversation from earlier? Were you just joking around, you know? We were just joking around, you know. Ginny, he knows. Ginny blinked at me in surprise. Really? John knows? When did that happen? I kinda got shot by our old English teacher.
Just kinda, sorta, yeah.
Oh, you mean that old rat Dolores? I always knew there was something fishy about that guy. You could call him a rat fink. Anyway, why bring this up? What's this favor you're talking about? I swallowed hard as I stared between Philip and Ginny. The two of them looked suddenly very experienced. I don't know what that means. Well, I think Owen might be in danger. Danger? Explain. I slowly recalled the events of this evening to the two of them. Their faces were knotted with worry as I described how secretive yet casual Owen was acting despite the situation. In short, I was wondering if you two knew anything about the Lorelei and Adelaide families. Since you're the Black Cat and all, I kind of figured you'd know something about a huge family with criminal connections. Philip and Jenny looked at each other in contemplation. Sure, we know a thing or two about the families. It's kind of common knowledge for anyone who's worked in the city's seedier side. I'm not surprised Owen's in a sticky situation, if I'm being honest. The two families were known to be pretty brutal. But John, are you sure you want to get involved? You might get sucked into things you're not ready for. I stared at my feet in silence for a few moments. Yeah, I know. But I can't just stand around and do nothing while Owen fights for his life in the background, you know? Oh, shit. I want to help however I can. Philip nodded quietly. I like your drive, John. So, you want to know about the two most powerful families in the city's underworld? Oh, what the fuck is this? Since the beginning of the city's development, there were two powerful families that influenced its development. Oh, shit. Oh, daggone, this is cool! The Lorelei family and the Adelaide family. They were pretty much two massive crime syndicates that constantly fought to gain the upper hand in the city's political and business environment. The two families rose to power through wits, bribery, and brutality, and exploiting government officials. The list goes on. You can probably already tell, but the two families absolutely hated each other. They were practically two rival empires with roots throughout the city's government and business sectors. The law means absolutely nothing to them. Hell, they probably believe that they are the law. The Lorelei family had no qualms when gathering thugs to smash the Adelaide's businesses and slash up the family members. The Adelaides would then gather hitmen to take out government officials that supported the Lorelei's. So the cycle continues. It's a pretty bloody relationship, and it lasted for decades. It's also probably why crime is so widespread in the city. There's never a shortage of employers. I scratched my head with a frown as I slowly tried to take in all this new information. Quick question. I've definitely heard of the Lorelei's here and there, but I've never heard anyone mention the Adelaide family until today. Whatever happened to them? Really? You don't know? You should read the newspapers more often, John. Hey, I read the comic section occasionally. Unfortunately, there was an incident about 20 years ago. There was a huge Adelaide family reunion party, or something of the sort. The Lorelei family took this opportunity to raid the whole place and then blow up the building. God damn, dude! Only one Adelaide survived the incident. She later mysteriously died of illness several years later. So that means, yep, the Lorelei's are the only ones running the city now. Get the fuck out of my face. It's kind of shitty how they can do whatever they want. But there's been a steady decrease of violence in the city since the rivalry ended. Say that to Owen and the thugs that keep chasing after him. I never said the violence completely stopped, but I have to admit, the city's become a lot more peaceful since the whole rivalry thing disappeared. Not peaceful enough, if you ask me. If the Lorelei family is such a huge power in the city, that means they're uncontested in anything they do. My hopes of helping Owen in any way were slowly diminishing. I guess this whole situation is a bit out of our league, isn't it? Hey, don't look so worried. There's still a way we can help. Yes, please quit moping, John. You're bringing down the mood. Jesus. I shot the two of them a wry smile. You two got a plan? Half of a plan, really. In these situations, information is our main form of currency. Right now, we need to find out why the Lorelei family suddenly wants Owen dead after years of ignoring him. Once we know why, we can start figuring out a way to change their minds. Interesting strategy. I nodded slowly. Philip does have a point. But how are we going to find this information? I'm the Black Cat, remember? I have a partner in crime that works as an informant. A very reputable and respected one at the hat. And one actually cried, motherfucker. He buys and sells information for a living, after all. He'll be able to help us out. I'll ask him to pull a few favors for us. That's good to hear. Is there anything I can do to help right now? Philip grimaced and stared between me and Jenny. No, just sit tight and don't do anything stupid. Seriously? Knowing you two, you'll probably do something rash and end up ass-deep into trouble. Just stay out of things until we know more about the situation, okay? Jenny made a face that just screamed, oh great, here comes the mother hen. She gives Philip a thumbs up. It was the kind of thumbs up you'd give to placate a fussy parent. It was also the kind of thumbs up that contained zero reassurance whatsoever. So I'm noticing that Samuel is pretty much not in this part. Just sort of got cut out entirely. Samuel's just gone? Sure, boss, whatever you say. Now go to your informant. I need a word with John. What, right now? Yes, now. Time is of the essence. Jesus. Jenny playfully nudged the reluctant Philip out the door and shut it behind him. Raising an eyebrow, she turned towards me. What's that all about? It's about Owen. Jenny glanced towards the door to make sure Philip was gone before returning to me. You wanted to help, right? I want you to stay with Owen until this whole thing is over. Like a little bodyguard, if you will. Me? A bodyguard? I glanced down incredulously at my noodle arms and then back up Jenny. Well, not in a physical sense. I've known Owen for years, and he's always bottled things up without telling anyone. Don't let that handsome, grinning face fool you. Owen's actually a pretty gloomy dude. Let me guess, did he act super secretive today? Did he refuse to answer questions and have a I'll handle it myself kind of attitude? I mean, yeah, I totally explained that to you earlier, but whatever. I thought back to our conversation in the kitchen this morning and sighed. That about sums it up. There's a lot of pressure from being born in Lorelei. I think it'll do him some good to have a friend by his side. Why me specifically? Who else is there? Philip is emotionally constipated, and Sissel will probably strangle Owen sooner or later. And I'm under house arrest. I can't exactly stay with him for very long. Fair enough. I'll do my best. Jeannie nodded at me, satisfied. Guess I'll be sticking with Owen for a good while. I just hope he's all right. The thought of having a bright red target painted on your back is frightening, to say the least. Well, now we just gotta find the motherfucker. God, I do not like this picture. It just doesn't look good. I don't think it looks good. The countless things I have learned today could fill a mile-long list. Owen is very good at avoiding people, can now be added to the list.
You just made the list!
John's legs were not made to run around campus for hours to look for Owen can also be added to the list.
You just made the list!
I panted heavily as I sat my tired ass onto the pavement, my legs burning with overuse. Maybe bodyguarding isn't a good career path for me. I probably looked like roadkill right now. Wow, you look terrible. My head shot up to see Owen strolling dejectedly down the street. Where the hell have you been? I've been looking everywhere for you. Aw, you missed me. You practically have the words "shoot me" tattooed on your forehead. Shouldn't you be hiding? I'm not too worried at the moment. If they were in a real hurry, they would be hiring street thugs instead of the usual professionals. What the fuck? They're either being real cheap or they don't have the resources. I should be fine for now. Well, I'll have you know that I've been designated as your treasured bodyguard. I'll be staying with you from now on to make sure you don't die. You, my bodyguard? Owen glanced down at me. He towered above me by at least a foot, dwarfing me by comparison. I can tell you will really scare off the Loreleis with your thin noodle arms. Very specific words being used. Use noodle arm, maybe use like a thin angel hair spaghetti. I don't know. I think spaghetti arms is funnier than noodle arms. I don't know. That's just me. I'll let you know I have a very talented skill set. What are you gonna do? Seduce the killers? I tipped my chin up defiantly. You never know, maybe I will. Yeah, if we're lucky, the killers will have a thing for the short and scrawny type. Anyway, you gotta lay off the anyways. Am I being overly critical? Let's just fucking read. Where have you been all day? It's kind of weird for you to run off right after getting jumped by a gang. Owen glanced around the empty streets cautiously before motioning me to follow him inside the school. I'd love to have a chat, but it's best we do it indoors. Being out in the open makes me a little paranoid now. Now come along, Mr. Bodyguard. Any chance I can get paid for this? Who knows, maybe if you satisfy all my needs. I cut him off with a deadpan groan. Let's head inside. Oh, now we're at the eatery, the cafeterium. Owen and I decided to grab lunch. Dinner? Lunch? Dunch? I prefer linner myself. Or lupper. In the school dining hall. Being sheltered by the walls of Garania took a little weight off my chest. Watching Owen pour ketchup on his mac and cheese turned the weight into a returned that weight with a crushing vengeance. John, you okay there? I tore my horrified gaze away from the cheesy ketchup mess on his plate, my face pale with disappointment. I am disgusted. Hey, don't knock it until you try it. I'll just take your word for it. Anyway, you were in the middle of telling me where you were today. Oh, right. Owen sheepishly stuffed a forkful of pasta into his mouth, chewing slowly. I got kicked out of a bar. What, really? You never seemed like the drinking type. I wasn't there to drink. I've heard that there's a reputable criminal informant hiding in the bar. Someone going by the name Morse. Aw, shit. I can't possibly be his real name, unless his parents have really bad taste. I wouldn't be surprised. Everybody in the business uses fake identities to some degree. I wanted to see if this Morse could help me find out why my family's suddenly so trigger-happy. Unfortunately, I'm not old enough to get into the bar. I tried bribing them, but the bouncer didn't take the bait. How is he getting into bars? Isn't he always getting kicked out of places just because of who he is? There goes that plan. Getting a meeting with the most reliable informant in the city was more difficult than I thought. I frowned. Owen's casual tone was about when talking about criminal informants and trigger-happy families still felt rather unsettling. You seem awfully well versed in this whole business. Is this what growing up with rival crime syndicate families does to you? Oh shit. I don't like that picture. It makes him look thick. Owen stopped mid-bite of another disgusting ketchup mess, his brows furrowed with mild frustration. You found out about this already? That was quick. Where did you hear it from? I have my sources? Sorry if this upsets you. I know you wanted me to stay out of it. What the fuck? I have this song on my fucking phone. This is from an anime, I believe. Yeah, I have this song. Oh god, that's so weird. I used to use that as my alarm clock song. Oh, that's so fucking weird, man. I believe it's called Clementia. I have this song on my computer. That's so fucking weird to hear. Oh my god. No, it's fine. I'm kinda jealous, actually. Jealous of me? Sorta. Growing up, I was ignorant of everything going on around me. The families, the crime, everything. My mum and butler did their damn best to keep me in the dark. I know they were just trying to keep me safe, but it got a bit frustrating after a while. What was it like, growing up as a Lorelei? Not too bad, actually. Oh, I actually have a picture I can show you. Oh, God, hearing that fucking song, it's making me feel like, oh, God, I gotta get up now. It looks like we got Samuel, we got Mom, we got Kid Owen, and then we got what looks to be an asshole version. That does not look like the Oleander I saw. He looks completely different. Owen dug out his wallet and showed me a small photo tucked neatly inside. 4 smiling faces beamed back at me. Well, almost 4. The sight of a tiny, grinning Owen put a wide smile on my own face. Sitting next to him was a kind face of his mother. She looked rather tired, with stress wrinkles lining her eyes. Still, something about her presence exuded a sense of noble grace. Standing behind them were... Is that Owen's father? Nah, couldn't be. They wore the same shit-eating grin, but they looked too different to be related. A servant, maybe? Yeah, who... I glanced up to see Owen beaming as I studied the family portrait. They looked surprisingly nice. My mom was the most wonderful lady in the world. She was always super patient with my immature ass. Spoiled me quite a bit, actually. But she always taught me to be compassionate and kind to everyone around me. And my butler was the coolest badass you'll ever meet. On my 10th birthday, he sneakily bought me a big orange motorcycle and tried to teach me how to drive it. Well, this is a very different tone than what I believed before. We almost died. Twice. And Mom nearly skinned us alive. Totally worth it, though. Oh, shit. But it sucked being kept in the dark. I always wondered why gunmen were breaking into the house every few weeks while my mother locked me in the safe room. My mom and butler would come home with bullet wounds and tell me that we're just off slaying dragons. Does that mean something different in this world? I feel like it does. No matter how much I asked, I never got an answer. Just sit tight and wait for us to save the day, my butler would say. I had to fight tooth and nail to even know what was happening around me. My weird uncle was the only one who didn't beat around the bush. Weird uncle. Weird uncle. This is a completely new character. Owen jabbed a finger towards the frowning man in the corner of the portrait. Yeah, I've never seen that character before. Whenever we were alone, I'd ask him questions, and he'd tell me straightforward answers. It's a little disheartening to hear that your mother was born into a criminal family and your butler used to kill people for a living. But it's better than knowing nothing at all. But by the time I got answers, Owen blinked and stuffed his wallet back into his pocket hastily. Well, all that's in the past now, nothing to worry about. God damn it, Owen! I studied Owen's face carefully. He looked so vulnerable when talking about his family like this. With a soft smile on my face, I reached up and gave him a gentle pat on the shoulder. Thanks for trusting me enough to tell me this. It's nice learning more about you. A slight tint of pink flushed across Owen's face as he coughed sheepishly. God damn it, John, you're embarrassing me. Oh my, did I manage to make the great Owen Lorelei blush? I should mark my calendar. Owen gave a whoo, I farted and that smells terrible. Jesus Christ. Owen gave a flustered laugh before quickly excusing himself from the table. While you do that, I'm going to use the bathroom real quick. Be back in a bit. You're letting him out of your sight. He's going to run away. No. I watched Owen's retreating back, feeling a little warmth in my chest. It was nice being trusted like this. I feel like I understand Owen just a little bit more now. Except, I quickly grabbed Owen's offending plate of ketchupy mac and cheese and tossed it triumphantly into the trash. That guy has horrible taste. Oh, god damn it, dude. Ack! I nearly jumped out of my chair as Echo's cracked form appeared floating above my table. What the hell, Echo? Give me some warning next time. Sorry, little man, I didn't want to interrupt your bonding session with Owen, but there's something I think you should know. What do you mean? That photo Owen showed you? He has a lot of strong feelings towards it. I can sense his thoughts clearly. What do you mean? Dot, half the people in that photo are dead? That means his uncle and his mom, as long as Samuel's still in the story. That's what he was thinking. That's what he's thinking. My chest knotted with dread. I looked down at the hall where Owen retreated towards. No wonder why he didn't talk about himself often. I hope he's okay. Owen's a strong kid. He'll be fine. But John, if you're going to stay close to him, you'll have to be careful. I'm not strong enough to protect you every time you dive into a gunfight. One of these days, you might end up as another photo for Owen to grieve over. God damn! I gulped. My stomach lurched uncomfortably against my chest. I guess I'll just have to be more careful then. Yeesh. Yeesh. There's that picture. And there goes that picture. To be continued! Aw, diggity damn. Fuckity fuck. Well, I'll probably just add this onto the last episode then. Oh, we got another long-ass episode then. God damn it. Oh, man. So that was it for the Owen run. This has been a long episode. So I guess we'll just fucking go with that. I look forward to seeing what happens. And I guess in the next episode, we're just going to jump over and finish up Sissel before we go back and do anything with Owen. I hope this jumping back and forth isn't bothering people. I know at least with extracurricular activities it's a little bit easier to tell what's going on and whose path I'm on and all that other stuff because they're usually in the thumbnail, but with these there's so many interesting shots and stuff and drawings that I don't want to exclude them from the fucking thumbnails, and they look so good, and extracurricular activities just doesn't have those. So that's all for the 0.5.2 update of Owen's run. Everything changed. Like, immediately, things were different. So, I don't fucking know, dude. So I look forward to seeing what that is. On the next one, we'll be going back to Sissel, but until then, ladies and gentlemen, I have been the trained unprofessional speaking for the voices in my head when I say until next time, fare thee well. Bye, everyone!